typically, YouTubers such as myself will sort of cherry pick games to show on YouTube. I mean, obviously, we want to show the best matches that we get, because nobody wants to sit here and watch us just die repeatedly over and over again. That's just not interesting gameplay to watch. But in this instance, I felt this was a good enough game because of what happens later. And you know what? Matches like this can happen. This match started off and I thought, great, this is going to be just another terrible game. I'm not going to really be able to get much. I've gotten a couple kills so far, and I think I shot down an aircraft. Nothing too special, nothing to write home about. But once I get my M60A1 AOS here, which this is actually pretty much a stock vehicle at this point. I haven't even gotten the FPE for it yet. I think all I had was parts. Things are going to get a little bit better. But before they get better, they are going to get considerably worse. So that BMP that killed me is still on the point, so you can see me creeping up. I know exactly where he's sitting. He's been camping there the whole match so far. So I'm creeping up to try and find him and get a shot at him. Keep in mind, I can't actually see these markers because that's just a replay thing. I can either disable all markers or disable no markers. So I opt to go for no markers. And if you notice, when I just fired there, it looked like I wasn't fully reloaded. For some reason, the replay's bugged, and just because I'm not visibly fully reloaded there, in-game I was actually fully reloaded. Just want to clarify that before I get comments on it. But why did I pick this game? Because as you can see, we are 3 caps down and the tickets are bleeding out quickly. This match is probably going to be over in another couple minutes, you're most likely thinking. And you could very well be right. In a lot of situations, this is a losing situation. We have no teammates in a position other than me, my squad mate, and a couple others who can get onto the B point, but there's no one in a position to get on A. Only one person in a position to get on C, and the C point is very tricky to get to on this map if there's any enemies hiding around it. And the enemies have what seem to be superiority. I mean, I wouldn't fault anyone if they were just hit escape, return to hangar at this point. Although I would say wait until your vehicle dies, at least you can make the repair cost worth the money. But, you know, I wouldn't fault you for it, because it's a losing match. You maybe don't want to waste your time getting to another game. Or you can do what I'm about to do here, which is try and make the best of a bad situation. I'm trying to get onto this point, partially to win, but partially because, you know what, even if we lose, I can probably get the cap here, and that's going to get me enough XP to maybe get my FPE. I think I did get FPE after this match. So, you know, in this sort of situation, it kind of makes sense. You can squeeze out that little bit of extra XP, but also, I can help slow the ticket bleed and potentially give my allies time. I can slow the ticket bleed and potentially give my allies time to act and cap another point. So I've taken the B point, and now, instead of pushing for another objective, which would be a very tempting situation for pretty much everyone, including myself, I'm going to reel it back in, and I'm going to sit at the point and play defensively. Now, to some of you, you may be saying, well, yeah, that's obvious. Why wouldn't you play defensively? But I would say a good majority of people that play this game don't understand the concept of it. And that's not anything wrong with you. That's not anything, I'm not digging at anyone. This game doesn't necessarily give you very many reasons to play defensively, to put it that way. So I can understand why you might not feel like it's a good choice in many situations. But in some situations like this, you can play defensively. And you're going to see me doing that for the majority of this game. I'm going to be kind of sitting around at the B point because I'm doing two things by doing this. I'm, one, preventing the enemy from decapping the point, which in this situation would start a ticket bleed, and basically we would instantly lose if that was the case, until my friendly can take A, and then the pressure's off a little bit. And two, I'm able to lay in ambush and catch the enemies when they push onto the point, just like that BMP did to me earlier in the match. And I'm actually doing a very, very bad play here, because as you can see, I can't see through that little gap at the bottom there, and that's partly because I'm too close to the little wall, walkway, whatever you would call that, and because I'm sitting on that little concrete berm. By pulling back, I can now see underneath it and get a shot at that T-44, although I catch a glimpse. I think that leopard got pinged or something, so I pull over here to try and get him, and I'm just able to find a shot on him through that BMP. A very lucky hit there. I managed to hit one thing of ammo and detonate his ammo rack. So good shot on my part, which was not really intentional. That was just all I could see of his vehicle. T-44 glances one off my turret. I gotta say, the AOS, I'm very impressed with the turret armor on this thing. I don't know if it's just because the volumetric armor has really helped, but I've been quite impressed with the survivability this vehicle has provided me in some situations. Sometimes you just get one shot through armor that probably should be able to bounce what you're getting shot by. And from this point on, I'm going to kind of just be defending B like you've seen me doing. And you can see on the map, if we watch that a little bit, that my friendlies have pushed up, taken the A point. Now we have someone pushing towards C, but we have a nice, consistent defensive line created across the map. This is something very, very rare in War Thunder, is a team working cohesively. Even if this was completely accidental, this team was working excellently together. And without them, I more than likely, almost 99% of the time, would have lost this game, because I can't do everything myself. There are so many matches where it feels like anywhere that I go on the map, we can win that area, whether it be a point. Let's say I go to the B point on this map. I can control the B point fairly well. But the instant I leave the B point to go to another point, we start losing that. But in this situation, the team is able to hold those points. And I'm not saying that I'm some god tier player at this game. I'm not. I'm above average. But it's just very frustrating when you leave a point, get to the other one, cap it, and then immediately the other point starts decapping. It's like, guys, can somebody hold 1 point for me? I don't think that's too much to ask. Enough of that little rant there. I'm trying to watch over here because we had some pings of that T-55 coming up. And sorry if I'm not exactly commentating everything that was happening in the background. I kind of more of just wanted this to be a discussion of defense as a tactic in War Thunder as compared to just me talking about the what's going on in the battle. And if you like that, let me know, because I can definitely do more of those. They're actually easier than commentating because I don't have to perfectly sync the audio and everything. But I'm able to get a nice shot into that guy. He's out of the battle, or at least back to spawn, and I'm just still waiting, hoping that the enemies continue to either push up, or we can just hold the objectives, and the tickets will bleed out and we will win. We can see that we're still holding fairly strong. We are going to have a little bit of issue later on in the match, but for now, 3 caps, they are bleeding. Their tickets are now down below half. And consider that just a few minutes ago, our tickets were about where theirs are, and they had a full bar just about. So our impact so far has greatly increased our chances of a win, and at this rate we are going to win within just a few more minutes, as long as the enemy doesn't do something very unexpected. Still scanning, nothing. I think I just catch a glimpse of that guy moving along there, or maybe he was spotted by one of the light tanks or something, but no shots at him. Just gonna wait, and eventually I will push up. But you have to be careful, because when you push up, you expose yourself to the enemy's line of fire. That may seem obvious, and I'm kind of just rambling a little bit here, but I have to fill some time. But it's very important, because this is another mistake that I see people make in these situations. It is very, very tempting that, oh, we have all 3 caps, I can push up, get into a position where I can start to maybe get towards their spawn, not so much to spawn camp, maybe to spawn camp if that's what you prefer to do. I mean, I do feel like spawn camping is just a portion of this game that is unavoidable. Some matches just get to the point where all that's left is spawn camping. The enemy team has fully lost. There's nothing they can do. But I digress. It is very, very tempting to go for that. To just creep towards the enemy to find that one more kill. But I have seen more times than I would like to admit people do that, and it loses the game for everyone else. It just, they push up, they leave a flank open, the enemy team can slip in, take a point, and it's just enough for what they need to get the win. Or in the really, really, really close games where you only have maybe 100, 200 tickets left, it can be the difference between a win and a loss. Because if you weren't aware, every time an enemy tank or a friendly tank dies, that side will lose 100 tickets. So in a situation where maybe, hey, we have all 3 caps and the enemy team has 200 tickets left, we have 300 tickets left, and we're going to win in just another couple minutes, and then 2 friendlies die, you're now down to 100 tickets. The enemy team still has their 200, maybe 150 by now, but all it's going to take is them to shoot down 1 plane or kill 1 tank, and you've lost. So be mindful of that. All you have to do is hit the tab and just check those ticket numbers. Just consider it. I'm not saying it's going to make much of a difference, because odds are some idiot is going to run out and get shot and lose the match for you anyways. But if it's in a situation where maybe everyone else is back in spawn and you're on the front line and you've only got 100 tickets left, maybe back up and hide, because odds are the ticket bleed will win the match for you. Just something to keep in mind, because I have had quite a few matches lately. I had one just the other day where all we had to do was take 1 more cap and we could have won the match. Very close game. And I watch a lightly armored vehicle that was on my team drive right past the enemy cap that they could have just gone in and decapped. That's all we needed, was them to decap it so that we could stop the ticket bleed. And he just keeps on driving right towards the enemy spawn, dies, loses the game. And sometimes that it just comes down to that one key moment in the match that can determine a win or a loss, such as in this one. Maybe it was me getting on the cap. More likely it was the friendly that got on the A point and decapped it. If he hadn't done that, we probably still would have lost. So it's just different factors that you really have to consider. And I'm going to be doing more videos like this, talking about this sort of topic in the future, because I think it's sorely needed, especially with the fact that I get the feeling a lot of older players or more experienced players have left the game, and a lot of the newer players don't have much out there in terms of guides to help them. So yeah, if that's something you're interested in, let me know in the comments. But nonetheless, I have finished off the IS-4 that I originally thought was a T-10M, which is why I was having really, really terrible shots into him there. If you're wondering why it took me so long to kill him, I was convinced that was a T-10M for whatever reason, and all of my shots were just not going where they needed to go to kill an IS-4, and that's why. Yeah, that's pretty much the last of the game here. It came very close at the end there. You see the enemy team managed to retake A. If we hadn't taken both A and C, they most likely would have won this match. So just very, very close game. It could have easily gone either way. And the match is, I think, actually going to tick out. I'm not sure if the A point gets decapped or if we actually win off of kills. I'm thinking it's, yeah, I think it's because the guy gets on A. And the B point ends up being the determining cap. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this style of video, do let me know, because I enjoy making it, and I think it can actually help people more than me just showing you, hey, look, I got 15 kills in a tank. Isn't that awesome? Aren't I so cool? You guys should like just, oh, I'm the most cool person ever. No, that's not what I want to do. I want to educate with these videos if I can. Same with the ones on my main channel, but that's a whole nother topic. If you guys did enjoy, please leave a like to let me know, and a comment if you want to see something specific or a guide on something specific. I think the next thing I'm going to be doing are map guides, because I've been getting a lot of people asking me for those. So alongside the Should You Buy series, I'll be doing some basic map guides. So yeah, let me know what you thought of the video, and be sure to check out some more of mine if you liked this one. I'll see you in the next one.